three of spades. John Jawanda's jacks hold up, so he doubles up to stick around in the match.
71,000.
71.
You said it, John. Some people have picked you to win this tournament.
TJ thought he had his man on the ropes as Chris Ferguson has to wait a little longer to find out who joins him in the semis. To book your next trip to Las Vegas, log on to Expedia.com. And back to what has been a great match so far. Antonio Esfandiari and Scott Fishman still about even.
Thinking too much.
Connectors for Esfandiari.
See the wheels turning.
Blind still at 1 in 2,000, and Esfandiari will raise here to 5,000. Fishman with suited 7-5, he calls. And the flop comes King 6 ace.
Scott Fishman's flopped a flush draw.
And bets 2,500.
Now Antonio has absolutely nothing again. Let's see what he does with this nothing. We've seen what he's done with previous nothings.
And on this nothing, he decides to fold. So Fishman takes down the modest pot.
That time there was no razzle-dazzle from Antonio.
Has this degenerated into a traditional poker game, God forbid?
I certainly hope not.
Esfandiari with 8-5. And he'll bet 6,100. Ace-9 offsuit for Scott Fishman. He calls.
Nothing traditional about betting that much money with an 8-5 offsuit.
Flop comes Queen King 8, a pair of 8s for Esfandiari. Scott Fishman checks.
Yes, and as soon as Antonio got aggressive, he flopped something.
And on the pair of 8s, Esfandiari bets 5,300. That makes Fishman lay down.
And that time Scott Fishman had no razzle-dazzle. And the crowd says, where's the razzle-dazzle? Give us the old razzle-dazzle.
Easy for the crowd to say it's not their money.
They were singing it, they weren't saying it.
Pair of 10s for Scott Fishman here, and he simply calls. Well, it almost seems the better the hand, the smaller the bet. Esfandiari with 9-8 checks. Contrarian poker, perhaps, at this stage of the game between these two. Flop is 6-5-9.
This could be trouble. It gives Antonio the top pair and an inside straight draw.
And with that, he bets 1,200. Fishman raises to 8,000.
As well he should with a pair of 10s. Now Antonio could just call, which is what he's going to do. I was going to say he could go crazy there, but he didn't.
Oh, he'll go crazy now. The turn brings him a straight.
And this is the advantage to Antonio Esfandiari playing all sorts of crazy hands. When he does make a hand, it's going to be hard for Scott Fishman to believe he has the straight.
And Esfandiari leads out with 9,400.
Now, Scott does not believe he has a straight, or there's enough doubt in Scott's mind that he's going to call.
So Fishman indeed calls. And the river card, an ace of spades, no help for Fishman.
Yes, but it does put a flush out there. Let's see if it slows anything up. I don't believe it will because it was a backdoor flush.
Esfandiari bets 13,400.
And Scott Fishman has got to think, what can I beat? I can beat a 9 with a king kicker or a queen kicker, or any 9 I can beat as long as he doesn't have another pair with it. Antonio's previous play has established him as a guy who will gamble. Scott Fishman could be thinking, well, maybe this guy has nothing.
And maybe that's what's on Fishman's mind as he calls. Esfandiari shows him the straight and takes down a nice pot.
This hand started badly for Scott Fishman when he slow played his 10s, and it got worse from there.
So the magician extends his lead. We take it to another outer table now where John Jawanda has overcome a sizable deficit to take a slight chip lead over TJ Cloutier, a player who's accustomed to feeling the heat.
Heads up is a game of pressure. You keep the pressure on your opponent all the time. I mean, you're never supposed to let them bridge. You've got a passive player. You take over. You got a very aggressive player. You got to play over the top of them all the time. You got to pick your spots, and sometimes you'll get a big hand you won't even raise, or you hope they'll raise you, and different things. So you got to move in and out. You know, just play your opponent. That's the whole thing, and that's what I'm supposed to be good at. My real goal is at the top of that poker mountain.
Well, TJ Cloutier about even on the poker mountain in this match with John Jawanda as the blinds are at 6 and 12,000 now.
I remember last time we checked in on this match, John Jawanda was dead to a jack to stay in the match. He caught the jack, and now he's got the lead.
And in this hand, he's got a pair of eights.
John Jawanda is not the kind of player to slow play a pair, even a medium pair like this. He's going to put in some kind of raise here.
He raises to 36,000, and that gets TJ's attention quickly. Ace-10 offsuit for Cloutier. He moves all in.
Risky play by TJ, which is going to make a very tough call for John Jawanda.
If TJ loses this hand, he's eliminated.
I moved in.
I call.
Jawanda calls. Now, if Jawanda loses the hand, he'll be down to only 12,000 in chips. This hand makes the match.
Jawanda's knowledge of TJ's play helped him make that call.
Flop comes 7-4 jack.
No help to TJ. He's going to need an ace or a 10.
And the turn. A set of eights for John Jawanda.
Well, now the situation is the only card TJ can win with is a 9. Otherwise, TJ Cloutier is eliminated.
And there it is, the 9 on a 9% chance.
John Jawanda is stunned.
118.
John Jawanda in mere moments goes from a 91% chance to advance to the semis to down to just 12,000 in chips.
I think I know what I'm going to do in the match, and I think I might know what he's going to try in the match. And so I'm going to have to be patient.
Phil's very good. He mixes it up. His track record speaks for himself.
We're all within 3 matches of winning the whole thing. There's only 8 left. So the heat is on, baby.
And the heat continues to build between Phil Hellmuth and Lyle Berman. The blinds up to 3 and 6,000. Phil Hellmuth has a slight chip advantage here. And has a suited ace-6.
And again, Phil, playing cautiously, just calls.
Ace-7 for Lyle Berman. He raises to 24,000.
Lyle Berman's ready to gamble. He's got that look on his face. Let's see if Phil Hellmuth is ready to gamble.
I want them with some big hands, too, just in case. And this is the biggest one of all.
Throws it away.
Okay.
I would bet you can't beat half of my hand.
Of course, I had an ace.
Well, I don't know. I showed an ace. You're talking about an ace.
I had an ace and suited and fairly big. You might bluff
Fairly
me.
big. All the above, huh?
Couldn't beat ace-8. You know, you might have raced with ace-4. I mean,
I
now's the
could've.
time for you
Why
to.
not? Hey.
I figure you're going to start shifting gears.
Pretty soon. Got to do something different. My current gear's been losing money.
That's exactly what was happening in that
see it.
hand. Lyle was shifting gears.
Jack-7 for Lyle Berman here. He calls.
Check.
Suited 9-7 for Hellmuth, who checks. And the flop comes 8, 10, 6. Hellmuth flops a straight. Quickly he checks.
As he usually does when he has a big hand.
7.
So Berman bets out 7,000.
Phil's got the absolute best hand. Again, one more time.
I raise.
Oh, now here he comes.
It's a good spot to raise in because Lyle might think he has a flush draw.
23.
Another 23, up to 30,000 now.
Well, if Lyle calls, it's not because he likes his hand. It's because he thinks he can buy the hand if Phil doesn't hit what he is looking for. He does not think Phil has a straight. Phil is saying, please don't know I have a straight. Please don't throw your hand away. Please call.
Oh, and he gets his wish. Berman calls.